Hey, welcome to another episode of the Ask Coach C series. As always, I'm Coach Colin Castell with Shop Mechanics, and welcome to the show where you ask the questions and I give you the answers. All right, so the first question comes from Elijah Brown, and he asks, I'm a two-motion shooter and I don't get a lot of lift on my jumper. My question is, will it be easier for me to fix that or become a one-motion shooter? So first of all, awesome question to begin with. I love this. I get this question all the time because the two-motion shot is probably one of the biggest things that young shooters have that's killing their jumper. So the first thing I would do is I would definitely change to a one-motion shot if at all possible, unless you're like a junior in high school. If you're a junior or senior in high school, it might be too late and it's time to just perfect the one you got. So if you're younger than that, I would definitely move to a one-motion shot. Now, the easiest way to change from a one-motion shot to a two-motion shot is to change your set point. So generally, a two-motion shooter is going to bring the ball back over their head, kind of right up on top like this, before it comes forward towards the basket. So to change that, all you want to do is as you bring the ball up, pretend like you're setting it right here on your forehead. If you come up and you have your fingers pointed back towards your head just like that, generally that's going to set it right on your forehead, and it's going to be a one-motion shot going towards the basket. So think about changing that set point to right on your forehead, and that will probably help you get that one motion a little bit faster. Now, you also talked about trying to get a little bit more lift on your shot. So think about shooting off of a two-footed jump stop. So as you catch the ball, instead of going 1-2 with your feet, now you're going to catch 2 feet in the air and then pop off the balls of your feet. I always like to think about keeping your heels in the air. If your heels are in the air, it's going to give you a little bit of momentum for your heels to dip and then spring into your jumper, giving you better lift, better range, better rhythm. So see if that works for you, and generally those are pretty standard across all shooters. Now, the reason why we don't like a two-motion shot is because number one, it's a little bit harder to repeat of a motion. Number two, it's a lot harder for younger players to shoot with range. Number three, it's a really, really flat shot, meaning its optimal arc's pretty flat, so you're going to miss off of the back iron a lot more. And it doesn't transfer as much power because as you're moving back, the power that you're generating from your jump is going back, and then so you have to put it all going forward to get your shot up. Whereas a one-motion shot, you can use the power from your feet, transfer it up through your body and onto the basket. All right, so the next question comes from Diego Mendoza, who asks, Hi, Coach Colin. I want to know if it's necessary to lift weights in order to perform well as a basketball player. All right, nice question. This is one that I get a lot of the time, and it's kind of hard to answer because it's a little bit of a yes and a no at the same time. So on one hand, no, it's not really all that important to lift weights because you look at somebody like Kevin Durant, right? At the NBA Combine, when it went to the bench press, I think it's like 180 pounds or something like that they had, and it's how many times you can rep it. Kevin Durant couldn't get one rep, and so people are going like, oh my gosh, can he play in the NBA? Yeah, it turns out he can play in the NBA, and it doesn't really matter how physically strong he is for throwing weight around. But on the other hand, you have to be strong to play, especially the higher levels that you get. Generally, the higher levels you go up, the more physical it's going to be and the more strong you have to be. Now, with that being said, there's multiple types of strong, and I always like to talk about being basketball strong. That means that we're not conditioning ourselves to throw weights around. We're conditioning ourselves to get our body to move explosively in different directions. So there's different ways to train. I have a buddy named Henry Barrera who has a company called Hoop Diaries who's really good. I'll throw up some links. Here's maybe his Twitter feed up on this side right here. Yep, right there, Twitter feed. You can go check him out. He's one of the best strength and conditioning guys out there in the game today. He's actually a guy that I went to when I had a big back injury in high school and I lost all of my speed. And he was able to get my speed back and even faster after that without even lifting. So what I would do is I would go check out his stuff for that. So weightlifting is really tough because, a lot of coaches are going to prescribe your Olympic power weights, your benches, your squats, your cleans, all that stuff. And I'm kind of in the school of thought that you don't necessarily need that. I think you can get away with mostly body weight stuff with a little bit of kind of free weight stuff added in. So yeah, it kind of depends, the level. You're going to have to be a little bit more physical the higher up you go, but it's not the be all end all. I wouldn't spend a ton of time working on your weights and then neglect your skill, because a skilled player is going to go farther than just an athlete any day of the week. But overall, great question. All right, so next question comes from Muhammad Arif, and he asks, when I attack the basket, my moves tend to be premeditated, meaning I kind of plan out what I'm going to do in my head and then just go for it regardless of how the defense sets up. How do I learn to attack the defense based on what they give me? And how do I kick the habit of executing predetermined moves? All right, I like this question because I think this is something that a lot of players actually do. And one of the things that separates good players or good scorers from great scorers. And it's that attack and react kind of concept. So you're totally right. As you attack, a lot of times people premeditate their moves. They think, I'm going to drive and then I'm going to cross over and try to finish with the left, right? Well, if you drive and your defender sits on the left, you don't want to cross over because you're going to be going right back into the defense. And this is something that a lot of people do. So what I like to do personally to train my players is I do a lot of triangle drills. So that means that there's a cone up top and then 2 cones that are spaced out after that first cone. And we just work on going different directions off of it and using different combination moves. So in the link in the descriptions, I'll leave a few examples to videos of these triangle cones because I think I've done some for the Monday drill of the week. And that should really, really help you out. Every single player I've ever worked with has said that they have gotten much better at beating the second defender after working with me, and mostly is because we do a ton of these triangle cone works, right? It's just working on different combinations, working on being able to react instead of predetermining. So check those out below, and that'll help you out a ton. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love this Coach C series. I can't believe that they don't have more views. Like each one only has like 2,500 views or something like that, which is absolutely insane to me because this is some of the best information and knowledge that you're gonna get out there when it comes to basketball and training. So this is what I want you to do. I want this series to grow because I believe in it so much. So I want you to share this video with at least 5 friends if you can, and share it on social media if at all possible. That's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. We're on there. Try to share this video with as many people as you possibly can because I want it to grow. This is such good information and a lot of people aren't getting it. Also, don't forget, leave those questions in the comments down below because I want the more questions we get, the higher quality they are and the better you guys can learn. So leave a question down below and you might get featured next week in our Ask Coach C series. As always, thanks for watching. 2014 was an absolutely amazing year, and 2015 is going to be even better because of you guys. So what I'm going to do, stay tuned. We're going to do some giveaways coming up probably next week, just as a big old thank you for you guys being awesome and watching all the videos. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Splash on.